Hi everybody, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a get ready with me today, and I had put out on both my community tab on YouTube and on Instagram, ask me questions, anything you want, and I will answer them. And so that's what we're going to do, and I just thought I have to get ready anyway, so well, why not answer some questions while I'm doing it? So I have a whole boatload of new products that we just got in a bunch of my boxes, and some, that I had gotten on my own. Figure, let's just sit down. I gotta go food shopping for the kittens. Not for the humans, but for the kittens, and they're very particular. To all of you who asked me a question on both of those platforms, I truly appreciate it. You know I adore you people. So I just have my phone. So I have quite a few comments, maybe about 25, I think, between the two platforms. So I'm going to try to answer all of them if I possibly can. So I know I said I was not going to try this moisturizer just yet, but this is a CBD product, which I really don't have anything with this in my current rotation. So I just figured I would try it out. This is the Glamglow Moisture Trip. It has like a greenish color. Missy asked, well, she said good morning. She's so sweet. This is from Instagram. She also follows me on here as well. She wants to know how many siblings, what different jobs have I held, and what pets had you had growing up. She is Missy1225 on Instagram. I know that she's trying to grow her Instagram page, so if you guys want to go follow her, that would be great. This is a tough question to start off with, Missy, but I have 4 siblings. I am the baby of 5. Unfortunately, 2 of them are in heaven, and I don't know if all of you know that, and many of you know that I have lost 2 siblings. One of them was just recently a year ago, which I can't believe, and my 2 sisters were my 2 best friends, and I'm lost without them. But yeah, my mommy did have 5 babies. I'm also trying this Glamglow Bright Eyes. I'm really not sure how I'm feeling about it. I've been using it consistently for about 5 days now, and I am on the fence because I don't think it offers enough moisture for underneath my eyes. Oh boy, all the different jobs that I have held. I've been everything from a gas station manager to a bikini model to a vocalist and musician to office managers, and then my current position, I work in a high school. I'm using the Derm Medicine Weightless Face Moisturizer SPF 25. Before the pandemic, I also taught in a private music school after regular school. And of course my private teaching on the side where I used to go to people's houses or they would come to my house, those also shut down. So they might be starting up again, but much less than what it was, and with many of the precautions that are going to be in place as well. And of course, I consider this a job. Anything I get paid to do, which I now do, granted, I'm not making a salary. I make less than $100 a month on here. That's not why I do it, but I do consider it a job because I feel it's a responsibility that I have to put out good content for you guys to enjoy, because you join my channel, you're lovely people, and I adore you, and I want to do good stuff. If you ever want me to talk about the bikini modeling when I was way younger, I can certainly do that. I don't know if anybody really cares, but I'm just putting it out there. Badass Sweetheart on Instagram asks, how many kitties do I have and how old are they? Primer, I'm using the Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. I have not tried it yet. This is my first time, so I'm excited to do so. Yeah, my under eyes definitely still feel dry. It's annoying. Currently have 5. Yes, indeed, I do. My oldest is Baxter. I got him at a week old, and I had to bottle feed him, and so I got him in 2003. So this coming November, we share almost the same birthday. My little baby boy is going to be 17. I can't believe it. Then I have Miss Kitten that I got in 2007, and she was just about a year old. She is a little princess, and she is going to be 14. Then I have Pepper Cat. Pepper Cat I rescued from an abused home and turned him back into a normal, happy kitten. He was almost 3 when I got him, so now he is Going to be 6 in April. Wow, I can't even believe that. Then, of course, my little nugget, which just recently turned a year old, as you know. That is my baby that just this brought a lot of joy into my mom's life when I got her. Then the newest member of the family is little Tucker, or Tuxie, or Tuxedo Cat. The poor baby has so many names, I don't think he knows which is which. He is about 15 weeks old at this point, and he's growing like a mad cat because he's a gavone and he eats everything in sight. He goes around to all the other cats' dishes and cleans up what they don't finish. I have a new foundation to try out. Yes, I got 3 of them. I don't know what gets into my brain sometimes, but I keep passing by in CVS this brand that they have a whole display called Unicorn Glow Cosmetics, and they have a hydrating foundation. It was $10, and I really didn't know what color to get, and I wasn't willing to sit there and fuss and try to figure it out. So I got an 06 medium, an 04 buff, and an 05 medium buff. If you look at the colors, they are all so vastly different. That's why I was having such a hard time. Comes in a little tube. You are getting, I believe, 1 fluid ounce, even just a little bit more, 1.06. So the first one I want to try on my hand is the 05 medium buff. Look at how light the box looks, and look at my hand. There's a vast difference, even in the tube. See, I don't like to open things up in the store, especially these days, but I'm thinking that if this one is this dark, then the other ones are going to be way too dark. This is 04 medium. Yeah, wow. This is, okay. Yeah, no. Now, I am normally a light, medium, neutral. That, across the board, is my standard shade. Let's see. Way too dark. Of course I can mix them, always make them work. I'll just pass it on to a friend or something. This one is 04 buff. This third one is that. I mean, 3 vastly different colors. This one looks very yellow. This one has the right tone, but it may be too dark. You know, we're going to swirl those together for a minute. And that's what you get. And I'm going to try to apply this to my face. I'm using my very favorite new sponge, which is the Huda Beauty Basic B. Okay, you know, swirling them together, it was not a bad outcome. I think we will do that again. But you know what, just to be fair, let me just use my finger on each and see which one is actually the best. That's buff. It still looks dark on my neck. That's number 5, and it is way too yellow based. We already know the other one's going to be too dark. As always, I just make things work, because that's how I am. Okay, let's move on with some questions. Samantha asks on Instagram, what is my nail routine? Well, Samantha, currently it's nil. They kind of look like crud. She says they always look so pretty and well done. Gels or polish? How often do you do them, and what is your routine? Well, thank you so very much, Samantha, for the compliment. I haven't gotten my nails done professionally in, I don't remember when. Mostly because I'm impatient and I don't want to sit someplace and have them dry. I used to try the gel nails, then taking them off really damages your nails, so that's why I stopped doing that. I also have to keep them extremely short, and of course they do chip, because when I was teaching, playing guitar, they would chip all over the place, and you can't have any type of nails when you play guitar. What I do is I just do them at home. I use various different types of polishes. My favorite top coat is Ciate, because it makes everything last tremendously long. I also really enjoy the gel nail strips. They really last a good 2 weeks. They're easy and convenient, but then I also get bored. I like to change things up often. So unfortunately, no real routine, just, you know, doing them myself at home, usually at like 10 o'clock before I go to bed, and you know how that goes. Okay, this offered some decent coverage. I wouldn't call it full coverage. It's not matte at all. It's definitely dewy. I just want to see if it builds up a little bit to maybe cover some spots. You know, for a $10 foundation, if you can find the right color, which may be difficult, I am not an unhappy person. Myra Jesso, who also has a channel, and I encourage you to go check her out. She's small, she's building it up, but she is such a sweet, wonderful person. All of you are, of course, you know, but I just wanted to say if you can go and check out her channel, that would be great. I will link her below. She says, I would like to know why you sit on the floor to film videos and whether it's uncomfortable. You always look good in your videos and I love watching you. I'm not being critical of your style. I just wonder if sometimes if you're comfy. Well, thank you, Myra. Myra is such a big supporter and I appreciate her so much. Using the Yensa BC concealer. I love Yensa products. I've mentioned it a million times before. Well, Myra, to be perfectly honest with you, yes, it is extremely uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. The reason I sit on the floor is because I have absolutely no other place to film. I think I've discussed it before, but I'm literally filming in the hallway, very tiny hallway that leads up to my bedroom. My bedroom is basically maybe 8 by 9. Approximately. I barely fit in there. I could not fit a camera nor a table or anything to properly film. When I first started my channel, I tried out so many different locations. I used to like sit in the bathroom and sit on the tub, and you want to talk about uncomfortable, that didn't work well. I would love for nothing more than to have a proper space to film. I can't film downstairs because I'm not going to bother my father and tell him to be quiet or unoccupy a space. I won't do that. So, of course, I know you weren't being critical, by the way.
I didn't understand that.
Isn't it disturbing when your phone listens to your conversations? Anybody else feel that way? Yensa goes on so beautifully underneath the eyes. I am going to use the Kylie concealer, though, on some melasma. Do you remember I was skeptical about this Real Techniques little baby bowl sponge? I love this thing. I hope they sell it separately because I want more of them. It is so easy to use and it's so comfortable. I love it. The only thing, you know, it doesn't maybe get into the corners, but I think for generally speaking, it's awesome. To powder, I'm going to use the CoverGirl trublend Mineral in Banana. I like that it comes with a puff. I don't use it too often, but I still like it. First, I'm going to use the Ciate Blendiful, because this offers much more coverage of the powder, and of course wearing the mask I need this area to be a little bit more matte. Then I'm going to use the fluffy Complete Culture brush from Ipsy. I've never used this underneath my eyes, but let's see what happens. Yeah, it's a little drying underneath the eyes. Yeah. This was on clearance for $2.74 when I went to Rite Aid, so I was like, what the hey, why not? My lips are dry, so I'm going to use the Jersey Shore Cosmetics Watermelon Lip Balm. It smells so good, I just want to eat it. Supposedly, you can use this elsewhere, on your cuticles, you know, wherever else. I prefer not to do that. You know, if I want to have a lip balm, I just kind of want to use it as a lip balm. We also got this vitamin E balm. And it's not tinted or anything, so I do want to try this on my dry patches on my knuckles and see how that works. This is also kind of touted as a lip balm, but an all-over balm too. Feels nice. Catwoman, who also has a channel on YouTube, I will also link her below. And her Instagram page is Catwoman2012. And she asked, how did you get into the music biz? And is your family also singers, musicians, performers? To put on my contour, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Traveling Contour Brush that we got. And I'm going to use the Catrice Prime and Fine Contour Palette. This is one of the best contour shades that I have found. This highlight to me is useless. I really don't like it because it's just to chisel out the contour. Anyway, I was born into a family of musicians. My dad was, among other things, he's an electrical engineer by trade, but he was a musician all his life, and I grew up with him never being home on the weekends because he was always out working. And all my life I wanted to be like him, and there I did. All of my siblings played instruments. My very first band was when I was 17 with my brother, my sister who passed, two of my father's friends, and my dad. We were known as City Lights. And that's how I got my first professional gig. But I did all the high school plays and Of course, you know, I went to college for music education. I actually love the brush for this because it's very precise. My grandfather was a musician. He worked with Jimmy Durante and some of the old-time vaudeville. My sister who passed also was a music teacher. So music has been in my blood since I was a little girl. I remember putting on shows and charging people like 25 cents to get in. And everybody went along with it. It was so much fun. For my bronzer, I am trying to finish up this Rodial Bronzer. The packaging is stunning. I wish they made it refillable because this is such a waste when you have to throw it out. But as you can see, I am almost finished with it. I say that 3 times. And I taught myself to play at 7 and 8. Guitar I started at 7 and piano I started at 8. We couldn't afford lessons or anything, so my dad handed me you know, a book and said, go ahead, learn. And so I taught myself. I didn't learn a lot of the more advanced techniques until I got to college. Blue Ticket Beauty 83, she has a beautiful beauty page if you want to check her out. She says, I know you are a cat mama, but have you ever had a dog? Ever wanted or would consider getting one? I grew up with dogs. For 17 years, I had 2 dogs, Sheba and Sergeant, and I absolutely loved them. They slept with me. They were just wonderful. Sheba was a Belgian Shepherd, and she was so freaking smart. I loved having dogs, but dogs are a lot of responsibility, and before, when I was working 12, 14, 16 hours a day, I wasn't home enough, and it's not fair to a dog to not be home that much. You have to have somebody walk them, and they need more attention. Cats are much more independent, and you know, I don't feel guilty. I mean, I feel guilty leaving them home all day, even though now my dad is home and my parents were home previously, but I think that dogs definitely need more attention, and I love them, don't get me wrong. I love all animals, but that's the reason that I don't have one. Okay, today we're going to be playing with the Ciate London, the Editor palette. It's very pretty. I said I just thought that the outside packaging was just a little bit cheapy. That's just my opinion. This is such a beautiful palette. I'm going to start off with the neutral base here. Rachel Bonavitz asks, what is your curly hair routine? Well, I don't know if I have a specific routine. I like to try different curly hair products because I'm always on the hunt for the newest one. I can say that I don't wash my hair more than twice a week because it will just dry it out. Whatever conditioner I happen to use, I use so many different ones, and I try to deep condition at least once a week. But I always wash my hair, then put a ton of conditioner in my hair, wrap it up in the shower, and then let it stay on while I'm taking the rest of my shower. Once I get out, I'm always using a detangling spray. I really like Redkin. I'll try to list the products that I really enjoy below. Sometimes I'll put an oil in, and then I'll put like a curling custard or one of the heavier creams, and it's really a matter of trial and effort. Sometimes I use too much and my hair is like too heavy and sticky, so it's literally an ongoing trial. Sometimes my hair looks fab, sometimes not so much. The Ferret Spa asks, how do you keep track of expiration dates with products? Storing them, organization. It's difficult with all the subs, managing the storing and organization, so any tips would be immensely helpful. For personal, how do you feel about teaching in schools right now? Are you able to teach from home? Worried for you and your dad's health. Thank you so very much, and all of you who always ask about my dad. I love you guys, and I appreciate it so very much. As far as the storage and organizing, I am one that needs a little bit of improvement in that area myself. What I can suggest is getting those little stick-on tabs, and if you're able, write down the date that you're opening it. A lot of them have expirations on them, but things like mascara, if you have more than one mascara open, I would suggest just either using a Sharpie marker, taking a little sticky tab and putting the date that you opened it on there so you can help you keep track of it. As far as moisturizers, if you've opened it, if it comes in a pump, it's not that bad. If you've opened a jar, I would say use it and use it up consistently because those have a tendency to go bad quicker. Organizing, as I said, I'm working on that. Especially, I mean, I have a much larger collection than I think most people, but I'm trying to organize my palettes, and I used to try to do them by color story, but then I forgot what was what. So now I'm basically putting like the brands together. So I say, oh, I want to use a Juvia's palette today. I'll pull from my Juvia's palettes, and that's helping me just a little bit. I don't know if that was exactly what you're looking for, but I do get your struggles, and maybe we can work on that together. School is another whole big issue for me. I worry about my exposure with my illness. I worry about bringing it home to my dad. I won't say I'm terrified, but I'm worried for the kids. And, you know, it's hard to keep kids socially distant. And, you know, it's just inherent that something's going to happen. And school's opening up very soon. And I guess it's just going to be basically trial and error to see what works and what doesn't. My school is taking a lot of precautions, but I still think it is risky. But, you know, and no, we're not working from home. We are going in every day. There are really only 4 true mattes in here. The others are basically satins and or varying degrees of shimmer and such. So I don't have too many choices, but I'm going to take this neutral tan color. Dr. Maxine. She's like the best chiropractor in Westchester County. Just saying. She's also my cousin, so, you know, it says her daughter's asking about a good foundation. Well, if the asking for a friend is the deal, she and I will have to have a Zoom meeting to discuss that. And if perchance you're asking for you, I can give you about 5 to try, and you can let me know which one you like. But thank you for asking. So Ruby asks, why did you quit singing? You are so talented. Well, thank you so much, Ruby. I truly appreciate that. Well, the interesting thing is, I didn't exactly quit. I was kind of replaced and kind of didn't even know I was being replaced, to be honest with you. I kind of found out on Facebook when I saw my band working with other singers. I was in the same band for over almost 25 years. You know, and I guess they say that everything happens for a reason. Working in the band, it's late nights, it's showcasing that you do for free. The money isn't all that great. You know, and if I had a wedding that lasted till midnight on a Sunday, I still had to get up for work at 4:30 the next day to go to work. So I think of it as almost a blessing in disguise. I was a little bit angry at first about the way that it went down, but in the end, I enjoyed it. It was a wonderful time of my life. I still love performing, but I don't love everything that goes along with it. All week long, I was learning music that we had to perform. I mean, hours of time and effort for very little money. And when you're doing weddings, you're dealing with very demanding brides, and sometimes that wasn't so much fun either. I really think that the way it worked out was the way it was supposed to work out, and I'm not unhappy. I think I still occasionally perform like I did last New Year's Eve. For the most part, it was kind of just time to retire it. Going in with this other matte, which is one of the last few mattes, this orange color. The only thing is, if you notice, these have all kind of just blended together. There's no real definition, except for this one showing up a little bit, so I don't know. I'm going to go into the last dark matte and in the chocolate brown and see how that one acts. Yeah, looks pretty good. Sherry asks, if you've already answered these, I apologize, but how did you get into singing, and do you enjoy your work at the school? What are your favorite foods? Well, I had covered how I got into singing. I said, you know, starting professionally at 17, and then just when that band broke up eventually, you know, I just went looking for another band, and that's how I got into the band that I was in for so many years. Do enjoy my work at the school. I also really loved teaching privately because you're one-on-one and you know that the kids really want to be there. But it's very rewarding knowing that you are basically sharing your gift of music with kids and wondering what they're going to do with it when they get older. And one of my students actually that I taught her for so many years, she actually works professionally now singing, and she's amazing. I'm going to go with this grayish purple here. Tammy, who is Snaps Girl 18, says, no questions, but if I ever come back to New York, we have to meet. I lived in northern New York for 3 years. Hubby was in the Army, and we were at Fort Drum. That would be awesome. I would love to do like a meet and greet. I don't think anybody except Tammy would show up. But that would be so awesome to meet some of you guys in person. Would be amazing because, as I said, I really feel like we've created such an amazing family. Oh, I just realized I never answered my favorite foods. Oh my goodness. That's because there's too many to list. If I had to eat one thing every single day, it would be pizza. I freaking love pizza. I can't explain it, but all kinds except for little fuzzy fish. I don't do fuzzy fish on my pizza. Nanette said that she has a couple questions. She almost missed it, but no, you weren't too late, girl. What is your favorite movie and why? My favorite movie is with Sandra Bullock, and it's While You Were Sleeping. I don't know why I find that movie so endearing, but it's a movie that I can watch over and over again. Christmas used to be my favorite time of year, and it was basically based around the holidays, and it's a love story. And part of me still believes in love, and I wish things happen like they do in the Hallmark movies, where you find your soulmate and it just always works out. And that's not how real life works, but a girl can dream. And it's funny, that leads into her second question is, do you want to find a husband again or have fun being single and free? Not only can I find a husband, I can't even find a date. Dating with MS is very, very difficult. Very few people in this world are willing to accept somebody who has an illness. I know they're out there somewhere, I just haven't found them. And it's very frustrating. I never feel well half the time. And so it's hard, and people don't understand that. I had my fun being, single and free. I enjoy being in a committed relationship, that just comfortableness that you have, and having somebody to come home and tell my day to, and hugs. I just want to cuddle up next to somebody with my head on their chest and watch a movie. I'm not one for going out all the time, and so I would love to find somebody who would want to keep me, but I don't think he's out there. It's been going on maybe 6 years that I'm single, and at some point you want to give up. Most people that I date, and I don't wait that long before I tell them. I mean, I don't drop it on the first date, but if I think that I want to continue to date the person, which that hasn't happened. I've gone on quite a few first dates where I'm like, I guess maybe I'm just too particular these days, but I have to tell them within the first few dates if it's going to go anywhere, and most times they're like, yeah, no. I'm used to that, and it's okay at this point. If it happens for me, that would be great, but considering my age, I'm doubting it. I'm preparing myself to kind of be alone. Of course, it being a pandemic at this time, surely it doesn't help that. What's your perfect meal, including a dessert? I haven't met a dessert that I don't like, essentially. And believe it or not, my favorite thing, especially when I'm on vacation, are the breakfast buffets, so that I can have a little bit of everything. That's like my perfect meal. Like, I like to try a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and so that's my perfect meal. If I could have just a buffet in front of me of all breakfast foods on the daily, that would make me happy. She also asked, I love that you ask all these questions. Besides makeup, what else do you like to do when you have some spare time? Oh, I'm sorry, you were serious. I have no spare time. My time consists of work, taking care of my dad, doing this, which I love. This is my absolute love. I haven't really gotten to sit down and play my instruments in quite some time. I used to be an avid reader. I still do occasionally. I haven't dove into books like I used to, and unfortunately I have no spare time, because I get so tired so quickly and so often that I don't enjoy anything else except for this. Love you too, by the way. She also asked how my dad and I are holding up and how it is for him not being able to leave the house. He actually wants to stay home. He doesn't want to leave. He's having an extremely hard time considering everything that has happened, and so I take him out occasionally just to get him out of the house, but most of the time he'll stay in the car because he doesn't feel good too, and walking through the stores, he doesn't have a lot of energy to do it. So we're doing the best that we can, and I do thank you so much for asking about him. I got a really pretty violet milk makeup pencil. I'm going to try it in my waterline. Holy smokes, is that pretty. I had no idea it was going to be that pigmented. Wow. This is in the color PTO. It's like a lilac metallic. It is so pretty. I don't even believe it. I do have the Real Her eyeliner that I recently got, and I'm going to try this one. Random reviews ask what my hobbies are. I said they used to be playing my instruments, reading. I used to love painting. There's so many things that I really used to enjoy doing that I neither have time for anymore. So subscription box and mystery boxes ask, do you speak any foreign languages? Well, I can get by in Spanish, and I used to speak a lot more Italian quite a while ago, and I haven't used them in a long time, so I guess you can say they, you know, when you don't use something enough, they kind of just fade away. I'm sure if I started having conversations again and really putting it to use, they would come back to me. But I wish I spoke more languages. I think it's an amazing gift and tool to have. Dawn K asks, have you ever had a pet that wasn't a cat? Well, I discussed my doggies. I've had fish, and I had a bunny rabbit named George. I adored that bunny. He thought he was a cat because I got him as a baby. And at the time, I didn't have these cats. I had my other two cats, which passed away long ago. And yeah, George really thought that he was part cat. He was litter box trained and everything. He was just awesome. Angel says, first I need to tell you truly how much your videos mean to me and how much I love you as a person. I feel like you're a family and I've never met you. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's what's amazing about having this channel is that connection. I truly feel the same way. What is your favorite thing about each cat? And random question, if you suffer from migraines, how do you deal with them? I never had them before, and I haven't figured out how to deal with the migraines and my headaches. People who have them every day, I can't imagine that much intensity all the time. I'm still figuring that out for sure. And the favorite thing about my cat, I don't know, it's like, can a parent have a favorite kid? They all have their own individual personalities, and that's what I love about them. Even my demon child, he can be really cute. I love his little tiny meow. He's such a big bad cat, and yet he has the teeniest, tiniest meow. Miss Kitten is just such a princess, and like, they're so expressionate, and they understand. I don't care what people say, your animals understand you when you talk to them, because like, I'll tell Miss Kitten, what do you want? And she'll get down, go over to the bag of food and sit in front of it and say, here you go, Mom, I'm telling you what I want. So I'm so grateful for animals, because most of the time they're so much better than people. They love you unconditionally, and yeah, I can't imagine my life without them. If I could afford 20 more and take care of them properly, I probably would do that. The Never Ending Busy, and of course it cut off so I can't see it. She has a channel also, so I will make sure to link her below. She asks, if you were to find a husband or boyfriend, what would you look for? Personality traits that are most important to you in a man. What's your idea of romantic setting or a perfect date? Well, you know, I have to say, of course, you know, you have to be attracted to a person, but what I've found is that the most attractive person, once they open their mouth, all of a sudden they're not very attractive anymore. Intelligence and having a conversation and a sense of humor, but not that sarcastic sense of humor where they're insulting you, but that, you know, and it bothers you, and they say, oh, I'm just joking, oh, you can't take a joke. That I don't appreciate, and those I meet a lot of those types of men. But I want somebody who's honest, and they have to be affectionate, because I'm a very affectionate person. And as I said, as far as attractiveness goes, I really don't have a type, but even if I'm not overly attracted to a person, if they have that something engaging about them, I find them to become more attractive the more I get to know them. So I always give people a chance. And eventually looks do fade. So if you have nothing to talk about and nothing else in common, then that's not going to last. A romantic setting for me is, unfortunately, it's a memory from my honeymoon. We were in Aruba and we had dinner on the beach where literally the waves were just lapping at our feet. It was a beautiful night, and the waiters didn't have shoes on. They rolled up their pants and they were just splashing through the water to bring us our food. It was beautiful setting and lighting and the sunset, and that would be a great romantic setting for me, and a great date for sure. I'm not a doer, like with my energy level and my sickness. I can't go out and sightsee for hours or do a lot of walking. I just kind of like to be, you know, chill, and, you know, I used to love hiking. I guess that's also a hobby I used to have when I had more energy and I was well. I used to love to hike. It's so beautiful and quiet and peaceful and just grounding. Dawn, my little butternut, she'll understand what that's about. She asks, if I left New York State, where would you move to? Honestly, Dawn, I am such a born and bred New Yorker that I don't think I could ever leave New York State. I mean, I'm stuck here until, you know, I retire. I have like another 15 years to go or so. But I don't know. I mean, maybe when I retire, that might be something different, because basically I'm going to be completely alone. And so at that point, I might say, oh, I'm just going to move wherever I want to. But I really don't know where I would go. That's a really tough question, I said. But for now, I'm a New Yorker, and this is where I'm going to be for the nearest future. She asked me a lot of questions, my little Dawny. She asked what my dream vacation is. We also got an eyebrow pencil from them. Pencil. We also got an eyebrow pencil from them, and I'm very excited to try it. My dream vacation, Aruba was and always will be my absolute favorite place to go on vacation. I've been there 5 times, and I haven't been there in, I'd say, 10 years. It is the perfect happy island. The weather was always perfect. It's not in the hurricane belt. It's a small island. There's really not a lot of crime. I've never felt unsafe anytime I've gone, and I've always had the most amazing time. And that is where, if I could go on vacation again, that is absolutely where I want to go. The tip is beautiful. It's very precise. She also asked what my favorite kind of music is. Well, being in the band, I had to sing everything, every genre, every decade, you name it, I sang it. As far as singing, I love singing 1940s standards. They are just classic, and you can make them your own, and they are just amazing. Ella Fitzgerald, and that's what I enjoy singing. As far as listening, I am a typical 1970s classic rock girl. Billy Joel, the Eagles, Leonard Skinner, that whole genre, that is me. Not that I don't appreciate other music, and I listen to Z100 and you know, KTU. CBS 101 seems to be my favorite lately also. Beatles, love the Beatles, can listen to the Beatles forever. Even though that's not classic rock, it still fits in that category for me. Color is just, I wish it was a little bit cooler toned, but I'm not unhappy, and I think that stiffness of the pencil actually made it go on my eyebrows quite well and adhere and give precise lines, so I like it. For lipstick, I have my MAC satin lipstick, which is in mocha, and then I have these 2 awesome Trestique pencils that I don't know what I want to use. See, I'm going to be wearing a mask, but I really want to try the mocha, and it's probably going to come off, so I might have to change it. That is so pretty. I also just realized I forgot my mascara. I wasn't going to open this Beauty For Real mascara. It's their high def mascara, and it's in just black, but you know what? I don't care. It is a very, very thin wand. I'm not going to use primer because that way I will get a good idea of how it actually works. It's a very wet mascara, and it is immediately clumping up my lashes. I have to go get an eyelash separator, or else I'm going to look like a gigantic spider. Oh my goodness, that was almost a disaster. Let's try the other eye. I mean, it does make them thick and everything. I do like what it did to my lashes, but you have to be really, really careful. But without primer, it gave my lashes some nice thickness, volume, and length. Just, you know, wipe off the wand first is my suggestion. Well, my friends, it appears I have answered all of the questions, and to everyone who did ask me a question, I am so forever grateful to you all. You're all amazing people. I'm so grateful that you're even interested in my life. This channel and you guys really mean everything to me, and I just want to tell you how grateful I am for all of you. If you are new here and you enjoyed this, I would love for you to become part of this family as well, because we really do have an amazing, amazing family here. I hope you liked the look. If you have any further questions, or if you needed to DM me for any more information that I wasn't able to answer, I am happy to answer those. I'm catching up. I have about 30 DMs that on my Instagram that I am trying to work through, so please be patient with me. Once again, I love you guys. I thank you. And of course, whatever part of the world you're in and around, I hope you're having an amazing day, an amazing week coming up. And I'll see you really, really soon in my next video. Bye.